Yesterday, I used this chart as a jump off to talk about how labor is unequal in the household. And we know that labor is unequal in the household, but this really quantifies things. Now, the biggest labor gap is between Indian males and females. You see, the men do not even 1 hour of work, but that goes along with the Japanese and Korean men as well. Whereas the women over in India are doing almost 6 hours of work. So we were having this conversation as you get more and more towards the bottom, you see that the gaps are closing, but it's always the women doing more work. Now, some of the African ladies were taking exception to the fact that there were no African countries represented on this chart. But what I said in one of the comments, if you have any stories to share, please just go ahead and share them. Let us know what it looks like from your particular country or culture, so that we can have a discussion. Or if you have any links that talk about these data points, please go ahead and share them with me. In the United States, it says that men are doing almost 3 hours of work to women's 4.5 hours of work. But this must be single men, because I'm always seeing women talk about how men are not participating in the home. So I don't even know how they come up with almost 3 hours. Yeah, right. This was a funny comment on my TikTok page. Cronali says, breaking the cycle by being lazy and single. Please know and understand that a woman that makes this decision on her own and has the nerve to be happy or take some pictures with her plants or hobbies, this is the type of woman that really annoys people, because when women are not using their time, energy, and resources, when they're not using their time, energy, and resources for a man, it seems to really upset the patriarchal system. It really gets under the skin of men and some women. Lots of women shared their stories underneath this post. I didn't know that there were Indian PP bros, there were Indian passport bros. So this woman is from Eastern Europe. She says, my Indian ex expected me to do all the chores, claiming that in their culture it's supposed to be women to do so, while he did 90% of the daily mess. While I can literally live in a clean area simply by cleaning right after I do something. So I don't actually need big cleaning sessions once in a while. He always did a huge mess literally in 5 minutes in the kitchen, bedroom, anywhere, and leave it to me to clean it. Once I complained about it and asked, like, how would we live when we're married? He proposed to me. He told me that he would hire a maid. I couldn't believe that he would hire someone to clean his mess rather than learn how to keep his space clean. I felt exhausted in this relationship. So glad it's over. So I asked her, how long did this last? And she said, it lasts 3 years, actually. We live in India because it was cheaper for both of us. I broke up with him in 2022 as soon as I found out that he was a PP bro. But he's still stalking me now. We broke up in 2022. I was 27, he's 37. I think my prefrontal developed by this time, which is also what helped break up with him. Dude mainly lived in Canada, having Canadian passport. He moved to California at 24. His whole Indian family was there as well, and he loved to travel a lot. Basically, in poor economic countries, specifically to Slavic ones, because listen to this part. He always wanted a white girl on a budget. Literally his words. He has a baby in Ukraine with a poor woman, a girl born in 2013 before his relationship with me. He has a baby with an Indian woman, a girl born in 2009 before relationship with me. He hid both of them from me until I snuck onto his laptop to open Skype and read the chat with both ladies where they're asking him for more money for the kids that they have with him. She says, I am from Eastern Europe and I think I dodged a bullet. She says, oh, in this phrase, I want a white girl on a budget, I read from his chat with another Indian bro. They're chatting a lot and support each other in Facebook groups, Skype, Telegram. I feel so stupid that I didn't check him. But how do you know? Why would you think that your man is a PP bro? She says she feels bad because she wasted so much time. Sonez says, I'm an Indian raised in the US. My mom is an acclaimed doctor and still had to cook 3 fresh meals a day and run the household. It was so much. I never married or had kids. Ridiculous. Autumn says, I am a Turkish woman. My parents were working at the same time, but my mom was the main cook, washer, cleaner. My dad would help 20% max. That is why I will never get married. I really remember starting doing chores at the age of 8. Past 5 years of the marriage rate is dropping in Turkey because Turkish men expect everything to be done by women. It's like women across the globe have come to the exact same conclusion at the exact same time. Women are tired of doing all of these things when men get to just put their feet up after work. Women's job never ends, men's job ends once they get home. I'm coming back to this. Krenali again says she's breaking the cycle by being lazy and single. I mean, it makes sense. I see says, as a Turkish woman, I definitely believe this. Both of my parents worked over 40 hours a week, but my mom and my sisters and I were expected to cook, clean, and do the childcare. And Autumn weighs in again. She says, facts. As a Turkish woman, I never saw my mom fully rest. There was always something either she had to cook or clean or wash or go shopping for the whole family. Francisca from my YouTube page says, my mom was the breadwinner working all hours whilst my dad worked part time. Despite working nights, she shopped, cooked, and cleaned. She had to pay for childcare because dad, who could pick us up from school, didn't want to. He would rather sabotage her career that put the bills and enabled him to paid the bills. I'm sorry, paid the bills and enabled him to send money home to his parents. Hence, we ended up outside London with the family for childcare. She wasn't allowed to send money home to her parents in Nigeria. So she would do loads of overtime, buy clothes to send home to her mom to sell so she could help her mom with her younger brother who was still in school. Younger sister was in university and working. She was earning more than him, and he was jealous and tried to use us to slow her down. Glad she finally left him. Maybe the males should get better jobs. Be a teammate, not an enemy. Why do women always have to compromise? She dodged a bullet with that selfish male. So did my mom by leaving an older selfish male. Maya says, I'm going to be honest. I'm pissed that the list of countries describing women's unpaid labor does not include any African countries and does not represent the disparity between young boys and girls. You would be stunned at how much of a childhood African girls sacrifice to support their families. And that's where I said right here, if you find an article or send me a post, we can talk about it. Make any comments that you want. I'll talk about it. That damn Baka says, yep, this is my dad. My mom did most of the chores and he mostly created problems. This is why I'm never getting married. My brother being willing to care for his kid doesn't mean I'll find someone willing to do that. Please know and understand, women across the globe are saying these things. I have women across the globe that's in my network making these comments. Don't know what's going to happen says, while my father, a lazy ass, is happy that he doesn't work and lives on my mother's salary, now pension. Yes, we are Malayalis Indians. He literally didn't bring anything to the table. He is absolutely opposite to my mother. He is not good looking, college dropout, 8 years age difference, no family inheritances, as his sisters took away everything. He was so lazy that he didn't save anything for my future. Hot-headed and self-centered and egoistic. Now, I, a 33-year-old woman, am not good looking like him, not rich or privileged, but educated and become an engineer with a master's degree. Men approaching me are like my father or worse than him, even divorced with kids. I studied for a better future as well as to get a better eligible person than me as my husband. But it seems like I will live on and die as single. Fine, at least I will not see my kids suffering for not being beautiful, fair, slim, and privileged and get rejected by single bachelors despite being morally good. So she's like, I'm going to be single rather than deal with somebody that's like my father or worse. Men are out here creating a situation where women are just like, get someone else to do it. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.